houses burnt down, people put on stakes. They're really pulling out all the stops to make sure that everyone knows who the big boss in this vale is about to be. It is under those circumstances that the most desperate in Brindle have sent out letters, requests, and more, on the winds and in paper form and whatever they can find. But who will answer? Who does answer but a person who has, over the last few weeks, received in prayers, visions, and omens the same singular message? An immense diabolic scheme is taking place in the Elsil Vale that requires immediate redress. And who answers that call but a mighty paladin, a hero of the light, a man who embodies nothing but virtue, a man with the name of Boiga. You've been on the road through the Elsil Vale for a while now, coming from the Brown Hills, riding to the northwest. Along the way, you picked up a strange little lady. A lady who intended to go to Brindle, responding to a request of a person called Imistol the Red. Why exactly she would reply to someone and how this letter came, you might have asked, maybe you didn't. I won't be so hasty as to how nosy you are. But a request had been made, and she decided to answer. It sounded very desperate, after all. What Mal heard was quite terrifying indeed. Ghosts, dragons, giants.
True.
An army comprised of wargs and goblins mounted on their backs. He requested aid and help. And who are you to say no? Who are you to say no? A wizard in kind. And so, naturally, when a shining man in armor came by and offered you a ride, since you seemed to be the only person on the road at the time, as the roads have been quite deserted as of late, even several inns you've seen on the road were completely abandoned, with signs out front telling any wayward soul who comes that it is best to keep moving, that it is to take break. It is kind to meet someone with a willingness to help out. After all, what paladin would leave a lady by the road on her lonesome? Tell me, Argus, what
Even
kind...
if that lady looks a little like a tiefling, a little like a devil.
I mean, she might be part of that diabolic plot now that you think about it, but for now, politeness.
They seem genuine enough in their attempt to protect the city, so yes,
It has
I
been
will help.
It has been weeks on the road. Although, to be fair, I say weeks, but I didn't remember that your horse is, like, fast as fuck. Greased lightning.
Yeah, technically it can do 96 kilometers an
Ma-
hour.
Mal probably noticed this when, you know, you got half trampled by a horse that goes so fast that you're pretty sure people would disintegrate at those speeds. Wasn't that a concern when like, railroads were initially invented? People were like, people can't go more than 56 miles an hour. They'll explode.
Excuse me, I go 59 miles per hour. Well, I think one of the early concerns for trains was if they go way too fast, the air will get sucked out of the windows and people will suffocate inside.
Modern trains have very powerful pumps. The point is, I say weeks, but then I realize, wait, you probably would just take days to go anywhere.
Correct.
You know what? I'm gonna look up the overland travel chart. I want to see how far you can actually go in the day with all this shit you got, all this wind in your back. Let's see, 30 feet a day. You can do 24 miles. You go 3 times as fast. If you're like going normal speed, your horse has some amazing stamina.
Get this
Correct.
horse. It's going really fast.
Holy shit! Yeah, uh, you really got to strap in. I imagine that saddle has extra belts and buckles to make sure you don't fall out.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like every
Well,
time you come across a tree that was used in an ambush or a cart that lies burnt out by the side of the road, that thing just leaps over like nobody's business.
yes.
It makes a leap easily 30 feet, 8 foot high. For a moment, you can even peek out over the lower trees in the area. It's quite the trip. On one of the later days, as you are obviously within the Elser Vale, deep within it at least, no longer in the near the Wormwatch Mountains. The Wavenwatch Mountains have not had as much trouble with the hobgoblins because it's, you know, further away from the center point where they spill in around Rellen's Ferry. It is a
Plus,
late
nobody
evening.
really wants to walk up the hill.
It is a late evening. Let's see how far it's gonna do with mental math. So yeah, you can go like this far in one day with your horse ish. Like how fast could you cross this whole freaking place in let's see.
If I was really in a hurry,
If you were really in a hurry, I think you can cross through this whole place in like a day or
Dang.
yeah, in like a week you can cross through this with ease.
I'm going to Hammer Fist Halls. Does anybody need anything?
You want to see me do it again?
You want to see me do it again? I'm so
Excuse
fast.
me, dwarfs only. I used to like these two people, but they brought me off here for dead. But my dwarf friends, they brought me back to life. So I hate fucking everyone. Fuck you. Only dwarfs.
I am technically a dwarf, just not from this particular town.
Boyga, it's late at
Yes.
night when you spot light in the distance. You've seen buildings get burned down, and you've gleefully killed the goblins there. I don't know if you actually killed them with glee, but they're all goons and slim pickings out here. The majority of the army,
All in a day's work.
the majority of the army is made out of losers. So you and Maul have zero difficulty just mowing them down. They're not sending their best after you. They don't know who you are.
And they never will.
You just go hop off your saddle and you roll up your sleeves and you go, gosh darn, another day.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know how much Maul is enjoying this. What attracted Maul to all this spellcasting business anyway?
Well, let me do it. It's Mal. I don't know. I really like danger and getting in the middle of everything.
I like the
And
idea.
the destruction. I love destruction. But
this-
on the good side, obviously.
Mistral sends out an emergency message, and again, that's an answer like, "Oh, that sounds like explosions." Can I add my own to the collection? Point is, it sounds to me like you two are having a great time becoming a little bit bester buds. And now another fire seems to be in the distance. There is a difference, though. Before, the fires were like, a fire. It's the building is set on fire, things start to burn down, loot is brought outside. This time it's different. The building off in the distance, someone intentionally... Mal knows fires. Mal, you know fires.
Yes.
You know what they look like.
Yes.
You know how smoke forms. This is an intentionally extra large fire designed to be as bright and smoky as possible, so that you can see the tops of it in like the setting sun, so that it's dark,
Jeez.
but you can still see it. It's very clearly trying to beckon someone in. A big ol' insect lure, as it were.
This fire, it's calling my name. We should go to it right now.
That's it. I don't hear anything.
You want to go right now?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Striding off towards the fire.
I'd love to talk to a talking fire.
You see
Never
a building.
seen one of those before.
You see a building in the distance. There's quite the spectacle going on. Fireballs are getting flung around. Large creatures flying through the sky. Honestly, my goodness, you're missing out on a great fight scene, it looks like.
Mhm.
You hear the awesome cries of many people getting bunked. And it's at that point that we take our focus on good old Magoosh. Listen, names are not my forte. Mr. Magoo. It's been like a
It's
minute or
mega
two.
oosh.
Magoosh. Me gosh burger cuts
Me
the
gosh.
name.
You've had a couple of minutes after the fight ended, so we say, from last time, during which you had some time to check the bodies, check pulses, discover that good old Argus has breathed out their last.
Did they ever call the wizard? They did, right?
What? What wizard?
I think that like two of the elven war mages are alive but unconscious.
Oh
yes?
yeah. One of them is bleeding out. One of them's unconscious.
No, I meant the one that fireballed DG.
Oh yeah, they're dead.
Oh,
Killed
yeah.
everything.
Okay.
I think that one got like a. Let me see if I can find them in particular. Let's see what their hit points are at. -1. They died by a hair. So if you really wanted to, you could pick them up and shake them around a bit. So, Mr. Magoosh, what do you do with the situation now that you have a little bit of time to rest and relax?
Well, I look over at my silent partner in the corner over there, and I go, well, you see, these two were the ones that hired me, but I'll stick around with you for a bit because, hey, I get to do stuff like this. And then Migosh walks over to Argus's corpse and starts ruffling around in his pockets.
Oh my god. I love Sam's rolling up her. Of course you
Oh,
would.
he's
This is
not
my
gonna
thoughts right now.
He's not gonna need it where they're going. But
We might be needing it where we're going.
I imagine that Matthias does. He already mentioned that he subscribes to the theory of like, you know what? It's nice to keep people the burial gifts, but at some point we're in a war.
Correct. Argus would not mind their body, not that they've passed away, as a resource. Go nuts.
As this
We've got-
happens, unfortunately, it seems that rest and respite is not given to you. You hear wings flapping in the distance, heavy footfalls. It seems that while many bad guys decided to run away, some of them have decided to turn around and see if perhaps they won anyway. Maybe they did win, and they're going to be there and gloat like, well, we did a good job. Or if you're alive, maybe you're in a bad enough shape that they can finish the job. Boyness, Magoosh, I imagine you have keen ears. Yeah, your ears are keen
Yep,
enough to
be perceptive.
they're coming back.
Oh, looks like we got some more friends coming. Maybe we want to take the high ground, or this room's treated us pretty well. Well, maybe not August, but treated me well.
Boyga,
Yes.
you and your fine tiefling friend. Man, I just realized that now the party has half people with dark vision. That's nice.
Yes.
So, Wizard, if you would not mind preparing dark vision for the party, that'd be very polite of you.
I should probably do that. Okay.
The point is, as you ride up to this large fire in the distance, glowing against the clouds in the sky, ahead of you, you're not quite sure why, but there's like a hound that's on fire, this large wolf thing with a dude on his back. There's this a
Have I
bunch
seen
of
those
people going
before?
towards the fire.
Have I seen wargs and warg riders before?
I imagine that you would have seen wargs, yes, but this is, well, some of them are wargs, others are like extra double-sized wargs. They seem to not give a shit about your presence, and seem far more focused on going to the farmhouse, which is a very polite way of saying that the two of you basically arrive simultaneously as they make their entrée.
Are they coming from the same direction as we are?
Yes. You're like, you're basically in their back.
Flanking.
I think it's a great way to have two people meet each other, is over a delightful mop-up job.
Yep.
Yes.
You probably see like arrows being shot out the window. And
Now, if you want to, we can play this out, or we can just leave it to you to decide how this exactly pans out. I'm okay with either.
Well, I'm gonna charge and lance one of those bastards with wings.
Go ahead. Show
As a person.
everyone. Like, Magoosh is leaning out, looking through into the... Oh, yeah, he's just goggles at night, so he probably just sees... He sees these creatures, and then he sees... Well, can you give us a show, please, Mr. Boyga? Can you stop moving your horse all over the place like that, please?
I'm not moving them.
Sorry, I
haven't
moved
moved
that.
anyone.
I thought I was underneath that. I don't know where I am.
You're right next to.
Oh,
you're right
excuse
here.
me. I forgot to give... See, this is what I was thinking about. I needed to
I
give
don't-
you... Listen, If you shut up for a moment, I'm talking about the fact that I didn't give you dark vision.
Oh.
Here you go. That'll fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. I still don't see my character.
Quaint.
That's weird. They're right here. To the left of where I clicked.
I only see the horse, and everything else is dark.
Then click away from the horse, please.
Yeah, you might be clicked on. the
Oh,
horse.
okay, got it. Got it. My bad. Everything's right. You said they're coming the same direction where we are?
Yes. You were behind them when they were moving up to this building.
Yes. Well, as I'm approaching, I'm gonna throw this on my weapon on the lance. Will it actually click? There we go.
All right. Well, please, if you like I said, we can play this out if you want to, or we can just mop it up because I honestly don't think this is going to be a problem with a paladin this heavily armored on your side and a spellcaster.
It is not, but I'm kind of wondering if I can just roll dice for a little bit.
If
for
you
a
want
second.
to just
you want
roll-
practice?
If you want to show off your dice to each other, go nuts, kids.
All right, fair enough. Well, that would be that. Hold on, let me look up the specific feature. Ride by attack. There we go.
Basically, it means you can move, attack, move again.
Yes. So let's see if that hits something.
That'll hit pretty
And
much
that
everything
should
here.
also- That's true. I'm hitting this bastard, and I'm going to target them as well. And what I need to do is add that 2d6, I believe.
Now, Mao, I'm going to give you this because I'm
Spell.
polite about it. Oh, yes, you did, in fact, take a lot of concentration. Good. Because you need a lot of concentration. Because
Yes, you do.
take a guess what you need to roll when you're on the back of an animal. Actually, I think
Concentration.
your concentration is good enough that you can never fail a check regarding a galloping horse. So yes, you're fine.
Yay.
Oh wait, no, that's not that particular spell, but fair enough.
If you want to, you can show everyone your fireballs.
Yes. Fireball. Fireball.
I think like some of them are resistant to fire, but that's not gonna. Oh, only one of them is resistant to fire, and it's the
Why
burning
can't I
dog.
Why can't I see the burning dog? Oh, is it right here?
This thing. I like that that the adjective it rolled is a woke hellhound. That's great. Oh, light source.
Where is it, Safi? I'm not seeing it.
My goodness. See, this is why I want to run a game where I don't bother with this stuff.
But what?
Imagine how
Specifically?
much smoother everything would go if I didn't do any of this fancy stuff and I just had a piece of paper with some places on.
With vision?
Ugh, nah. It doesn't really matter where things are. We're taking it nice and smooth here. Point is, these guys all bundled up. They're doing their little charge. They're clearly going after this building. You're not sure what their motivation is or why they're here, but you know these guys. They're the bad boys because you know who the wargs work with. Oh,
Fireball.
Mr. Bowman, you just lost your cleric, but it seems that some new friends are coming your way because you watch you watch the Barghest get hit in the ankle. And it tumbles towards you. And seconds later, a large roaring fire consumes all of them. Briefly, but long enough for you to enjoy the sights.
Mm.
But like I said, I'm not gonna play this out. I just wanted to set it all up. You guys having some fun, cleaning up some mooks. There's no real risk here. You're going to be fine by the time you're in town. So just leave it up to your imagination. How does this play out? Just have some fun, kids.
Yeah, I assume that like every time Volga does a ride by, like Migosh will just shoot like once the guy's distracted, like pew pew pew.
Yes!
The animals, the Barghests and the Razor Fiends, at first cocky about their odds, or at the very least curious, suddenly realize that they've been flanked. Panic and pandemonium breaks out relatively quickly, as after everything that's happened this evening, the fact that reinforcements have arrived, and one of the reinforcements is like constantly slamming into their thighs, and there's explosions happening all over the place. Oh boy, what a nice day it is. What a nice day it is. After a brief exchange of names and whatnot, I'm going to give Sugar Cube dark vision because I don't want to bother with this shit of you guys becoming
Go nuts.
blind every time you click it. Here, Sugar Cube, bright vision. Here you go. There you go.
There we go.
After a brief little situation where you have a dude on horseback who has all the space he needs to do his little jerk move, and a spellcaster
Yes.
with him like a mobile turret. It takes little time for the remainder to flee before you. I presume that Matthias is going to be like, future friends I see, or something wise and sagely, but also incredibly obvious.
Yeah.
As he does.
There is literally nothing humans can do when they see horses. They just say horses. So Matthias comes out, it's like, horse.
Horses.
Migosh comes out and he says, "Oi! It's a dwarf riding a horse."
There's somebody else on this horse too.
Oh,
Peeks out from the back.
Well, actually, they don't have to peek out. They're probably
Yeah.
Oh yes.
fairly tall.
she's a gnome, I thought.
No, Tiefling.
No, I switched
No, they
Tiefling.
swap to
Tiefling, that's right.
tiefling. If they were a gnome, I would just kind of pull them off and say, "Hey, here's my little
Backpack.
what is that dangly thing? The air
Appendix?
freshener in the car?
Okay.
Here's my air freshener. Cleans up goblin stench real well."
So, Migosh is a mercenary. He's seen plenty of, different creatures
Mhm.
before. He's not phased by the tiefling, but he'll say, he goes, well, I'm sure my friend here appreciates the respite, but I had things covered, Maybe you saved me a few arrows. He got untouched the entire battle.
Now that you have a moment to look around, Boyga, you are surrounded by
Yes.
corpses. Many of them are hobgoblins. There's a lizard inside. You think
Mm,
some elves, now that you can actually peek by them a bit.
where did those come from?
Well, you say, I think they set up a little ambush here. Unfortunately, our druid got a little cocky and she was outside alone, and he like turns to like the charred corner of the building. DG's corpse is just like a ruin. That's her over there. The lizard over here was doing quite well until the end, but sadly he took a blast meant for me, and I appreciate it and all that, but he
Were
didn't
the
make
el-
it.
So the
were the
fight is
elves with you?
over. The fight is over, and there's no more for us.
You guys sort of came at the tail end of things,
Ah,
Mm,
perfect.
Those lot, they ran away, but I think they thought their friends did a good job and came back, and surprise, their friends were all dead.
Boyga.
were the elves with you too?
Well, no, you see, the elves seem to be working for them. They might be, he makes that little crazy symbol with,
Finger
around
next
the
to your
head.
head, yes.
They're not quite right in the head. This one over here, and he kicks the corpse. He's knocked out. The other ones, yeah, they bled out before I really cared to look at them.
Well, let's be honest. No elf is right in the hand. At that kind of, elevation, they're all suffering from oxygen deprivation.
That's
This
true.
is the
That's
guy on
true.
the
I met
horse.
many multiple oxygen deprivation elves in my days.
It's just these ones, though. The ones in Brindle, right? Otherwise, we have really bad news to deliver.
Zoinks.
What?
It's only these elves that are working for the enemy, not all elves.
Best you know?
I mean,
I mean, you know,
we don't really know,
I
but
mean, well, you say, and he gosh peeks outside and makes the,
What the heck?
see if the giant owl's still around.
Oh, it probably left or it probably got slaughtered.
We don't know that.
I think-
Well, we don't know that, but
I think we agreed that it was told to just fly some circles. So
yes,
yes.
it'll probably
Oh
come.
yes, see that giant owl up there? See, that was a loner from some elves. So there are some good elves up and about. Not quite sure if the thing would listen to me because, yeah, it sort of had a bond with the druid. The druid's dead, so. Hey, bird!
yoo-hoo! We need you down here right now.
The bird probably does like decreasing height spirals as it makes sure that it's not about to land into a war zone or anything, and eventually
Can I
settles
do
on.
dancing? Can I do dancing lights as like arrow ways?
Oh my god! Probably
Like
lands
you do
on
in airplanes.
one of the towers around the parameter. Plop.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
That's a big barn owl.
Well, you see, we've been flying around on its back. Sort of how you run on that magnificent creature right here. Gives a nod to your horse. We've
It's
been
really
traveling
fast.
on this thing. I was a little sketchy at first, but it's actually quite exciting being up in the air and looking down at the small folk and whatnot. Everything's small up there.
Ah, so you too
Oh, and
have learned
skydiving.
what it feels to be an elf. Wink. Looking down on everyone, huh?
Well,
I think the owl does fly lower than most elf egos though. So
Mm,
boy, guy.
yes.
The weather is worsening, which is to say that
Ack.
the approaching storm is now becoming a proper rain instead of a drizzle.
Do we have enough time to circumvent it, run around it?
The rain?
No, not the rain, the storm specifically.
Oh, there's
Or
no,
will we have to?
There seems to be no specific storm coming right now.
Oh, you didn't mention storm. That's
What?
why I was worried.
Looks like I don't have to worry about putting out this fire. Well, this part of the building's still good if you guys want to get out of the rain.
Do we have the time? Are more of them coming? If
They
there
look-
is the time, we should probably pack our things and go to Brindle.
Where
Unless-
all the madness is happening. Yes, let's go there.
Unless you have
We
any
sorta did-
information that changes it, you have no reason to assume there's more to it. Like, this ambush did seem to be like an all-out attack for Magusha's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of seems like this was the plan. We did just come from Brindle.
Oh,
How are things there?
You know, city getting. I don't know if you're aware of the situation, but there's a goblin army on the way, and yeah,
That's
last I
why
saw,
I'm here.
last I
Right.
saw, all the merchants were packing up their goods and getting the f out, and
getting
the,
the F
the
out.
town was organizing in a defense, whatnot.
So
And that
you
is
came
probably
here.
where we should be.
Yes.
Well, I don't really
Mike-
know why we came here. Tell you the truth, you see, again, I'm a, sword for hire or bow for hire, technically. And these two right here, and again he points to the corpses. They sort of hired me, and I was working for them. I guess I technically work for this guy now, and I my head over at Matthias. At least
Well,
for the-
technically, by the way, we didn't come from Brindle last time. We came from
yeah,
the
we didn't come
Colt,
from Brindle. We came
Yeah.
from another place.
From the
where we're
Ghosty
going
Lord.
to Brindle.
Yes.
because
No, we came from the Ghostler, and from the Ghostler we went to the Dwarves, and from the Dwarves we were going to Brindle.
Yes.
we came from the dwarves. Gotcha.
Make
Remember, we got banned in the city.
sure keep your cover story straight.
Yes.
Well, now you have two new people who aren't banned from the city. So hi.
Yes.
So
I
now let's
could
go to
sneak in-
Brindle right now to get in the action.
I could sneak in whenever I want to, and I can make myself look like a dwarf, sorta. Biggest dwarf you ever seen, but
World's most giant dwarf.
I am a very tall midget. I get all the top shelf stuff. Yeah, a likely story. I've heard that one before.
Right.
Anyway, from my GM perspective, whenever you're done having your little conversation, you just
Oh, we're just
just pat me on the head when you want to fast forward to going back to the road. Otherwise, have fun.
yeah.
We're
First
just having fun a
first
little bit.
things first. Before we leave, I gotta take care of some business. Pardon me. You see me, you guys just walk nonchalantly over to DG's corpse and start prying this like mask off her face. Yes. DG, can you do me a favor and throw the mask in the cart so I can loot it?
Yes.
You know what? I should
Okay.
probably put all the Hargis' stuff as
Unless
well.
it's burnt to a crisp, and then never mind.
By the way,
Oh, actually, no one will have access to him.
some useful information for context. It's in the dead or lost or otherwise folder. Your party sheet
Ah.
should
Oh.
should still be accessible though.
Fair enough.
A quick note is that the bird is probably like, listen, I'm taking you back to town and nowhere else, because that was
Fair
kind of
enough.
the deal.
It's Alona, you know.
Squints at him for being like, oh, it's a loner. Oh, I'm property now, huh? Does that owl head tilt thing where they twist their head all around? I'm a
Wait, hold
loner.
on. They're doing it like vertically or horizontally.
Whatever way makes the point the best.
The mask, I can't find it. What the hell?
It's on there. Gonna go. It's our darkness mask. It's underneath your Torch of Everburning. Like your wands, Wand of Detect Magic, Torch Everburning, Anti-Darkness Mask.
Church.
Well, guys, you're no longer going to be getting any sort of nice food for the duration of this.
Trail ration it is.
Yeah, I'm going to bring over the spices and the cookbook because those are valuable. You're going to buy a castle with us.
Oh, I said, with DG's sheet, you just like lift up DG, head south, and retire.
I mean,
Hold on. I'm getting a weird phone call. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay, I
A
put it in the
weird phone
cartridge.
call.
Thank you.
Yes. Should I put everything in the
Yeah, you could do that. It's up to you. think that's what I did when Olaf died. Like anything you want your character to be buried / whatever in, leave on your character.
I got the I'll keep the helm. Did you will keep the helm?
Zwinks.
Okay, sorry about that. The phone call was weird because it was unidentified.
Zwinks.
True. Well, I've... Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
Just a moment here. I gotta throw this in with our stuff. Waste not, want not.
You take care of the whole looting business.
Yes.
I already plopped all the things on the other guys on you, so.
There you go. That should be it.
Gosh is like, looks at the cart. Another successful day on the road.
Well, there is also that onyx stone that I'll probably, just kick somewhere far away. Or try to break it. That is a cursed thing.
Fairly. I imagine that some ambient necrotic energy might have soaked into it as well. Like, ooh. Bad juice.
Yeah, don't want any of these corpses raising accidentally.
Just throw them all in a big firepower. Problem solved. Slap, slap.
Oh, I knew that lizard was a little strange, but I think he was
gonna-
carrying around a cursed item. Crazy.
I'm going to keep that thing as far away from corpses, especially from burning corpses, as possible. I'll take it with me. I'll probably just bring it somewhere in the city and ask the clerics what to do with it, how to dispose of that safely.
What's clerics got to do with it?
Yeah, that's fine. You can take that. I don't really see any value of it anyway. So
They might know what to do with it, because honestly, I wouldn't. Unless
I
paladins
just
are
don't really
exclusively
care
with them.
either way. I know you paladins have good oaths and whatnot. That's not my thing.
Point is, I just don't want to leave that sort of item lying around.
So you're saying we can take anything from this cart and use it?
I don't know if you...
I don't know if I said that. You have to ask Matthias here. These were
Right.
his buddy's goods.
Matthias would probably be like, if you want to join the good fight, then it's fair by me.
Well, there you go.
Did it sound like what Matthias would say?
I guess first looks though. But I already took first look, so take whatever the fuck you want.
Marvelous.
Oi, Matthias, you might have to get this resized, but August was wearing this fancy little tap tap on the plate.
Ah, yes. Argus is super
It's
cool
a
armor.
Metro, full plate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's gonna want that.
Oh,
Throw
well,
it on this sheet.
that's up for Matthias to sort out when he gets back and everything.
Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
Imagine that the armor hangs off of him very loosely.
Oh yeah, you have to go to town and be like, yo, bang this and pay the fee to resize it.
Marvelous.
The sleeves are too long.
So are we going to
sure.
the part where we just flash forward to where you're supposed to be?
Yes.
You're like a day
Will we
away
be
from Bindle. You'll be there in a moment.
Will
I
we
mean-
be able to liquidate our assets?
Even if you take the whole way around through Prosser, Argus would be there in a day. You go as the crow flies. I'll take a detour. I'll be there before you.
Yes.
Ugh. So what do you ask there, Argus?
I asked if we will have a chance to liquidate our assets, considering that the traders have left town, apparently.
Oh, listen, no, don't worry about that stuff. When you get into town, what time is it? I need to check my timetable and to tell you how
Please
far,
do.
how big the worry is. Because as things progress naturally, people become a little nervous. Let's see, day 26, 27. They have a 6-day delay, so it's day 21. Where does that put you on? The diagram of shit's happening. The shit's happening diagram says that at this point, Terrelton has fallen. But since they're going at an accelerated pace, at this point, like the weirdos and idiots who are trying to stay ahead of the army and like loot after everyone already left. Some of them, like rumors and whispers, would reach your ear that like Niman's Gap is not too long for the world, in its current state at least. So yes, you have. Considering that there's like multiple people on this who would probably know, and I think Matthias is like the perfect guy to understand this kind of stuff. You have like 2/3, half of a month, like 10, 20 days before they're gonna be here.
Now, would I recognize them from the rumors as the guys who are doing all this stuff?
What do you
The
mean?
Magoosh and Matthias.
I mean, once you pick up on like any rumors whatsoever, yes, you're definitely dealing with those weirdos who are doing a bunch of good stuff around the Vale.
Oh boy, I'm gonna give him a good thumbs up. That's some good goblin slaying work.
You know, I ain't gonna take all the credit. You see, I joined a little late. You see, apparently there was this dwarf with the party, and he did a good chunk of that goblin killing, but
Boy,
they
got that-
got him in the end.
Boy, God, that dwarf wasn't you, by the way.
No, I
I
understand.
know that you have -1 int in wisdom, but that wasn't you.
I have -1 int in wisdom in real life as well, so you know. Thank you
Me.
for actually confirming that. I was wondering.
I think he would have realized when I said he died that it wasn't
Yeah.
him.
Did I die?
Have I died?
Ugh. Despite the fact that
Uh,
there are still some traders in Brindle, or are, you can very clearly tell from the way their carts are set up. They're not settling down. They're just selling off the back. The
Right.
nervousness of this incoming army is becoming big enough. Because at some point, the main army is over at Niman Gap, but their vanguard, like the troublemakers who might kill you and take your shit by the side of the road, those are very, like, obviously already at Doth and everything, so. They're just trying to.
Well, you see, my horse and I share the only remaining 2 brain cells in this company.
What you talking about? The Migosh is smart as fuck.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the horse and I and Boyga.
Oh yeah.
Sure,
Shit, he has
sure.
18 int. Where did he find that one?
Yeah.
The,
Exactly.
the company meaning this company, the horse and Boyga, not this party
Okay.
specifically that we're a part of now.
Who did you muck for that brain?
I don't know. Killed someone to get these dice rolls. Someone died somewhere. No, someone out in the world. The minute I rolled Migosh's stats, got like 8, 8, 10, 8, 6, 8.
At this point,
know,
like,
you-
everyone's stats are, like, pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, Matthias is all positives. Boyga, other than his slum with lacking brain cells, has, like, amazing physical stats and a really good charisma score to boot. He's
I'm
also...
very handsome, but I'm a dumb as fuck. I am a himbo. I am a himbo.
Boyga.
I
Yes.
am kind. I am strong, and I am dumb.
Riding into town, it is easy to see that the environment is tense. Many people are hunched over. The few remaining individuals are the guards and their family, and craftsmen who, or you know, people who just want to stick it out. The individuals who are like standing stalwart yet solemnly, knowing that soon anything might happen. It's unclear what's going to happen or what they're going to do. The easy whispers on the street are that whoever runs this town hasn't made a lot of public declarations or proclamations recently. And within the hour of you roaming around trying to liquidate your assets or whatever it is you're doing on your first day of
Yes.
arrival, a messenger will come to you, claiming to represent Lars. He really only recognizes you because Matthias over there.
Oh, they
Yes.
met Migosh.
Yeah, but your association is a bit looser.
That's true.
You
I've been
did
to-
literally hide in a crowd because you didn't want to be associated with
Yeah,
us.
no, but I was around the
Yeah.
town speaker when Migosh shot arrows at the person who stole the phylactery.
Yes.
You're politely requested to come and join the higher-ups during their planning of the defenses.
Yes, of course.
Fight you all then.
Since I would like to point out that Malmboiga, unless you intentionally keep your reputation low, you're at the kind of level where, by definition of the fact that you have all this experience, you've done something, and people will, at some extent, know you. Either as that brilliant professor who lives over there, or someone who's been through an incredibly harrowing fight and made it out alive.
Oh, I'm sure they would become some sort of a symbol. in a sense. So that's while I was traveling through the town, basically a few minutes ago, I've been thinking of, hey, maybe I could use that sort of reputation to actually offer some, well, not necessarily condolences, but like words of inspiration as
Which
you
is
would as a paladin.
which is also part of why you're like invited over, because for one,
Yes.
Mal specifically has been cordially invited by mail, mind mail, and you have received all these omens. You have this incredible. I imagine the paladins have this innate aura to them, where you can only look at them with awe when they're high enough level.
Yes.
I mean, you
Oh,
It's
literally
like
have
someone's
aura.
famous.
you
Let's
look
see.
down on me with awe.
Oh, you have aura of courage. Oh, you're immune. Ooh,
Yes.
I forgot about that. It's like
Now,
All right.
does that aura actually have a range? Can I spread it to my teammates? And
if you
such?
look very closely, you'll know that you're immune to fear, but everyone else around you gets +4 against fear.
Nice. That's good.
Yes.
All right. Does
I am a
anyone
pretty
want?
cool guy.
Does anyone
Yeah.
want anything from this carriage before I start selling things for half price?
Yes, I've been thinking of grabbing that +6 wisdom thing.
Alright, so
'Cause that sounds
grab whatever you want. Let me know when you both are done, and I'm gonna start doing the price thing
sure,
while
fair
you
enough.
guys RP.
Argus, would you like to
Yes.
hear some exciting news? If
Yes,
you
go
gain
ahead.
one more level, you have an overwhelming aura of goodness, which means that anyone that tries to detect your aura is stunned by your presence, if they're evil.
Whoa.
They should be.
If you are of good alignment, this is for detect evil. If you are of evil alignment, the strongest good aura's power is overwhelming, and the HD in source is at least twice your level. You are stunned 1 for 1 round, and the spell ends.
Oh no.
Like, yes, at this point your aura is strong. You are a shining beacon. Being in any place whatsoever, for at least for about, like, up to an hour, just a sense of goodness. And in one hit die of levels, your aura is so strong that you can leave an aura for up to a week. Like, your presence changes the environment, the mood of the room.
Okay, Mal, I
Hey.
take that back. I'm the air freshener.
Actually, I misread this, but I like the idea of just your presence leaves this tangible trail with how much goodness you've done in the world.
I'm stinky, but it's the kind of nice thing.
I might be stinky, but it's the good kind. Also, you don't forget that you can detect. You can use detect evil. I like that. It's like you can always go.
Hmm. Now,
I've-
does it work
Oh.
in a similar way to 5e, by the by?
What do you mean? No, it just detects evil creatures, evil outsiders, undead, clerics of an evil deity, which I imagine also includes paladins, and evil magic items and objects. If they're not like evil creatures that aren't like don't have at least 10 hit dice, like they're not actually big boys, they barely register. It's just like, oh, that's just a naughty boy at most.
Yeah. Now, what I meant by the question about comparing to 5e, in 5e it's a specific action that you have to take, not just you come into a room and you feel it's like, it's the evil guy over there in that corner, right? Is it the same thing here, or is it just like a passive detection
It is
thing?
a 60 feet cone of emanation that you have to concentrate on, so you have to spend your action to activate it, and you spend your action to maintain it.
Mm.
But yes.
In that case, that would be the first thing that I would do as I approach our newfound party members, just
I
to
have a
be
question.
in line with the character. Yes.
For Find Familiar, I can get like an owl, and it's not spectral, right?
I think you're familiar in 3.5 is like an actual animal. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay, got it.
I'm.
I think it's permanent. Yeah.
I just so you know, because this is the part that makes lots of people go, oh. I think if your companion animal familiar dies, you take like an experience penalty. So
Okay,
watch that motherfucker.
So if I
well,
get like a
good-
cat,
Yes.
All right, yeah. So yeah, a familiar is, and according to the source book, a familiar is a normal animal that gains new powers and becomes a magical beast when summoned to service by a sorcerer or wizard. It retains the appearance, hit die, base attack bonus, base save, skills, and feats of the normal animal it once was, but it's treated as a magical beast instead of an animal for the purpose of effect that depends on its type.
Mhm.
okay. I would like to choose. Can I mix between or just like cat and then Raven?
What do you mean?
I think there's a feat
Can I
called Improved
do-
Familiar that lets you get fancier boys if you want that. Otherwise, you
Ooh, I
just
was
get.
thinking of like a cat that can fly.
Otherwise, I think your familiar is just like a intangible spirit that goes into an animal, makes him go, whoa. Oh my goodness, you can get a fucking Formium worker? What? You can get a big old insect boy as your familiar? That's just hilarious.
Bugs are nice.
No, I'm not kidding. If you get Improved Familiar, you can get a Formian worker, lawful neutral. and
Foreman worker. Is that a centipede?
no, they look like this. They're ants, and they're small.
Do they create a lot of destruction?
I don't think you want your familiar to find anything because you take an experience penalty equal to your level times 100 if it dies.
Oh shit.
You also can't get it back for a year and a day, so please watch your familiar.
Yeah, it's a utility thingy.
You can also get a pseudo dragon if you're neutral good. That's nice.
Yeah, those are kind of cute.
They're
If
very
you if you ever wanted an iguana, that's basically it.
I'm just gonna get a. Damn.
Okay, one of these.
Can I see through its eyes like in 5e or no?
At high enough level, let's see what level you're like. Level 10. So what benefits do you get? You alertness. So as long as they're close to you, you get the alertness feat, improved evasion, which is mostly so that it doesn't get fucked over too much by being in your presence. Share spells. It can deliver touch spells for you. It can speak with you. Unfortunately, you can't see through its eyes, but at this point you have an empathic link, and it can talk to you.
Yes.
It's a level
Empathic
13
link.
that you can get the literally scry on it.
It's freaking neat.
Okay, I'm gonna get a black cat.
Nice. I'm gonna pull one out for you.
Yes. Yay.
Cat. Yeah, I know. You want him to have a master associated with it. Shut up. I'm taking care of it. I'm taking care of it. 1, 2, 3. Give me a moment. I'm signing you permission to use this cat. Here you go, cat.
Kitty cat.
Also, at this level, your cat has 10 intelligence. It's actually pretty smart.
Yay.
It's smarter than my horse. Smarter than me.
LOL.
Look, I am a simple man. I see a horse, I say horse.
My cat's name is Mrs. Whiskers. Mrs.
Change his name. Make it work. Oh, and that reminds me, I need to apply your character name to your character token. Otherwise, it's DG 2.0, and that's not how it's supposed to work. There, now everyone can see it. Taken care of. Don't forget to strap your cat in when you're on the back of that horse. Gosh dang.
Right. Mrs. Whiskers. Okay, got it.
Whiskers. That's Mrs. Whiskers for you, sir. All right.
Now, just for the sake of reference, what should we do with that, adamantine ring? Should we just keep it, or should we actually pawn it off? Might come in handy.
I don't think anyone here can use it on attacks, right? It's only for unarmed attacks. If it's for melee physical attacks, you might want to hold on to it, yes.
The ring of the hold on, let me see.
How many ring slots you can have? Two?
Two.
One on each hand.
2. You only have 2 fingers.
Right.
One for each mouse
Let me
button.
see for me. Or should I have to delete this other ring of protection or delete the Stormfire ring?
Yeah, anything you're taking, delete, because I'm gonna sell everything that's
Yes.
left.
Just gonna grab a big old bag and just liquidate all the assets.
That's pretty much what we're doing. Throwing all the gold in the handy haversack.
Well, with a little bit of luck, this can be used to revitalize the industry once things perk up a little bit.
Correct. What should we do with that necromantic staff?
Sell it.
As a paladin, you are probably most inclined to destroy it.
If I break it, I believe it casts all the spells at once. Is that how it
That's
works?
Look,
not. That's a staff
You're
of
not
power.
breaking that unless you're paying me what it costs.
So, as a paladin, your best if he gets the authority to make any decision about that thing, what he can tell you is that he has no fucking clue how to destroy it because it's an artifact level item. You're not gonna break that over your knee.
Right, fair enough. I'm gonna break my knee over it.
If you want,
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you're adamant. Like Migosh is adamant about getting his money's worth out of everything.
yeah, that
Well,
staff.
I assume I'm getting this.
If you can
I
find a
ass-
buyer for that stick, if you could find a necromancer desperate enough to actually pay you for it, you could probably get a lot.
Well, the only necromancer I believe is that Ghost Lord, isn't it?
Zoinks.
Oh no, other things out there. But it doesn't actually have a price listed, so
Yes,
Hey,
it does not.
I mean, you're not going to find one in Brindle right now, so.
Yes.
Any rich nobles who are interested in practicing necromancy are currently busy trying to run for their lives, or boarding up their home, or whatever.
Well, I believe that's all I've got, actually. Except for maybe all those potions. Those would be really good, so I'm gonna just stock up on that.
Yeah, I got my potions. Got my potions.
An interesting detail about the town as you move around is that there is indeed obvious signs of reinforcements in dwarven form. The majority of the town guard are just humans, but there's a clear, distinct contingent of dwarves that patrols the streets occasionally.
Do I recognize any of them?
If you're familiar with locals in any way, you might, but your friend, Magoosh,
I live here.
yeah, he would definitely know that these are a contingent of mercenaries that operate out of the Hammerfist holds.
Fellow mercenaries. They're my kind of guys. Well, you know, they're your people technically, but hey,
Hmm.
Dude, they like destruction. Like, they love destruction.
Goodness.
As long as you contain it to specifically the enemy army, you're more than welcome to destroy it.
Right. Right.
Delightful.
Of course, only for the enemies. No other
would like
destruction whatsoever.
I would like to see if my pathetic insight can catch if they're saying it, you know, as a liar or not.
Your
All right.
pathetic
Well,
insight.
yes. Well, they seem genuine. I am very trusting, apparently.
Delightful.
Yes.
Well, whenever you're all done with your paperwork, we can get to the
I'm
town's
done with my-
meeting. I think it might be a good idea not to go through with it to the part where you actually start having a discussion about how to prepare for the board. We can totally get to like the little preamble.
That's true. We could do that. Have a smoke in the corridor
Delightful.
next to a water cooler. Get the lay of the land, so to speak.
As I mentioned, you are cordially invited to. Oh, Let me
Yes.
actually pull up Brindle's map. Also remove some other maps that I don't need from my navigation bar, which Argus now knows exists since he's actually been in the GM shoes for like a second.
There was that giant cathedral in the middle of the town.
Yes, but that's not where you're going. You're going to
Mhm.
this. That's where Yarmouth's fortress is. The
Aha.
only really fortified thing around, and located at the top of a tall, tall hill, about 90-ish feet off the sea level, I guess, or river level.
That is fairly tall. Yes.
It's the little crown at the top. It's also one of the few places where there's any reliable activity that isn't a patrol moving around.
Hmm.
Distinctly.
Hmm.
This is the next day. You've had a day's rest. I presume some
Yes.
arrangements are made at the local inn as special guests while everything is prepared
Yes.
and hands are shaken and then deals are made. Shake, shake. Timeline advances one day. Day 28. Give it up for day 28, apparently.
Yes.
Which puts us tidily at. Oof. You are guided over to the large, magnificent structure. A great hall of fortification sitting atop of a hill, probably the only place around here that could be well defended without any major overhaul. Everything else is personal property, or at most has like a little fence to keep the rabble out. Nothing that'll stop a siege. Even the city's walls themselves would probably only stand against a siege because they have to. The Ulster Vale has been quiet for too long and made people a little bit complacent.
They should have taken a book from the. Well, excuse me, should have taken a page from the Dwarven book. Every Dwarven home is a fortress.
Delightful. It is a place where the remaining stockpiled food is handed out as needed, and a place where a small... Listen, feasts are supposed to be big and vibrant, but for you, it is still a very good meal that has been laid out in front of you. It's just not the big opulent feasts that nobilities are used to.
I am not nobility, I'm used to restraint.
Sitting around this fine, fine table are a collection of individuals, some of whom you may recognize, some who you might not. There's Immerstall the Red. Immerstall. I want to say Immerstall the whole time. The most prominent wizard in all of Brindle. He's not a bad one. He's like level 9, I think. He knows how to cast a few nasty spells like telepathic link. That'll get you. There's Lord Curdan Yarmouth, a lean man, short trim beard. Before he came to power, was one of those old stiff kind of nobles. This guy is the excited kind, and I'm just going to tell you this, because you might have heard the rumors in the streets. If you drink potions of lesser restoration, you can stay up indefinitely, because it's basically like coffee, magical coffee. And trust me, it's not good for your health to stay up, even if it doesn't make you tired. Not bags under his eyes, but he does have that...
What does a potion of restoration even, heal? It's like, it heals problems like not being able to stay up for 48 hours.
Let me actually take a look. Lesser restoration eliminates fatigue and improves exhaustion to fatigue. So if you just keep gulping that shit down, you can probably stay on your feet for long.
Dang.
And there is a cleric in town who can make potions, so yes.
That's amazing. This guy's probably going to level down like 5 or 6 times from that alone, huh?
There's also Captain Lars Overth,
Yes.
the delightful dwarf who leads the Lion Guard.
We did meet them before.
Wait, is he a dwarf, or am I just making that up? I think that might have just been a holdover from the other one, and I'm just an idiot. Because in the other
It
game,
might
I
have
couldn't
been, and
use
they've been
humans.
presented as a dwarf. We could stick with that degree. Why not?
No, I always want to see if that was me. Yeah, he is in the module. He's a human. I guess that is a holdover from being. But I like the idea of him being a dwarf. You know, this stocky guy who got hired on by the new and upcoming lord, who wanted to make a good and positive impression. Everyone thought it was a bit controversial, but Lars has yet to fail. He has been an upstanding citizen who has inspired everyone to what can be done if you just work together a little bit. And
Awesome.
And the propaganda machine loves it. There's also Lady Vrasa Kal. Now, if you're familiar with the underworld, you know that this fancy-looking lady probably has no idea how to use any of the weapons she's sitting on, but she sure can afford herself a little private army to keep her safe. So make of that what you want.
Hey, it's nice to be able to afford private security.
Also attending is a fine lady. Also noteworthy, because we have a local in our midst. You would know that Kal is actually older than Yarmouth, so that makes for a slightly awkward situation when it comes to seniority. It's always great when your actual boss of the city is older than you, who is leading a criminal empire to some extent that no one knows about, except everyone. Finally, there's Trattora Goldenbrow herself, the local priestess, who is excited to see you. She immediately perks up the second you enter the room. After all, she's heard nothing but good news, and now, I think that clerics and paladins, when they're both like super good boys, it's like you just know. It's like druids. They just know. Especially since you both follow good gods. I imagine there's like some communication upstairs, and there you get like visions of another person. The last
Correct.
person who's here, who's worth
Our
noting,
gods do that thing from Predator.
is Celerius Starsinger, who apparently over the last few days has become increasingly convinced of just how dire the situation is. Since she's heard the reports, she's seen the refugees. Being in Brindle, where this is an actual massive problem, yeah, she seems to be very aware of how it's going. Sonora Anita and Speaker Winston from Vrelin's Ferry are also here, but they're sitting off to the side. They're not like part of the main conversation, as it were.
Thank God she's here, though.
They're mostly there so that they have a character witness to back you up if they need one.
Oh no, I was talking about Cerealia, Star Singer.
I imagine, however, that since only I don't think Winston even knows about the other guys, so it's a very awkward situation where only one guy is left. But if anything, that just helps sell the seriousness of the situation. Upon entering, Lord Yarmouth will raise a glass and welcomes the new heroes of Brindle.
Greetings and salutations to you as well.
Though modest, the banquet greets you with its fine aromas. I invited you today to come and assist in our battle plans. For certainly, the latest heroes of this vale have a right to say their say as we make our final preparations. And additionally, I would appreciate a second opinion of well-educated minds. Although, since you have a local, you could this guy hasn't been in a siege yet. Like, there hasn't been a massive siege since, so he might just be, trying to find someone who can help him in any way possible. That's how it goes with juniors.
And he doesn't want to show it. Yes, that's fine.
As you can see, we have also invited some of your new friends, and friends we have become since. Situation, however, is getting serious. The reports seem to indicate that the Horde is only getting more and more stirred, and I would hope that you would stand by us at this final hour when things are most desperate. He reaches in front of him, because on the table there's the scroll you didn't notice, because, the table's busy, full of food. And he hucks it over to your side. The table, by the way, is perpendicular, so you're very close to him, proximity-wise.
Right.
Perhaps you would like to read a letter from our soon-to-arrive bunkmate.
Okay. What does the letter say?
You reach over. Written in an incredibly fine hand is a letter that, so depending on, letter writing in this era is done with ink. So if you mess up, you have to scrap the paper or just live with it. This piece qualifies as calligraphy art. They took multiple times. They must have done hundreds of times to get it this perfect and this nice.
Damn.
Or they paid someone who has done it 100 times. See?
Yeah, I'll give you the.
Hire a master to do it. I'll read it out loud.
I'll give you the long and short of it. The letter essentially is I have killed your greatest heroes, I have burned your delightful villages, etc., etc. I am coming. I have dragons in my tow, an army of ghosts, and the most powerful soldiers. I outnumber you at least 10 to 1. And he politely offers Lord Yarmouth nothing short of, if you surrender real politely and just leave the town door opens, I will not follow you. I will give you all the time you need to leave and go as far as you want. But stay, and you and all who decide to fight will personally be, I'm thinking and feeling crucifixion. You will be hung up on the walls and left to dry, perhaps even flayed. I have a little bit of an anger issue, you see. A little resistance has not gone unnoticed, etc., etc. Basically, he's threatening with big threats, big moves, for this guy to just make it easy on himself and leave.
Well, I'll say goblins still can't count because they only killed half the party, not the full party.
I think he's full of shit.
Technically, everyone is. Ha ha!
Imistral bakes off the table for a moment to go over to Mal and shake your hand, actually. Because he's very glad that someone has answered his query, as it were.
I shake his hand too.
It's very, very nice to see that there's some people out here willing to take a risk for a lovely little village. Or town, well. It was a village back when I was little. I hope you do understand the severity, though. I cannot understate that this is not going to be a few hobgoblins. This is an army. You could fight hundreds of them, and there'd still be 100 more to come.
That's why we're all here, right? To defeat this army.
Yes.
Not to play other games.
That is encouraging to hear. Argus, Chidora moves over to you. And she does, I imagine,
Yes.
prayer hand signs and stuff. Gang signs.
I respond in kind if... Gang signs. I will respond in kind if I recognize them. With whatever is appropriate.
Marvelous. She says that she feels immense aura of goodness from you. Have you been guided here by the forces of good to stand by one of the greatest waves of evil as it plans to drown this place?
Well, at first I was guided here by rumors, but I do try. Yeah.
Ah, it is good to see that such good still lives in the world and is willing to go such distances. You are not a local, I assume, or I would have seen or heard of you before.
He also has
No,
a
I am
giant
not local.
horse.
Although, judging by the valley and the way you've Jesus, I'm trying to phrase this nicely. It's like, well, you have a nice place here. I'm not local, but I would love to have lived here. But I don't want it to come out like callous because we've seen the destruction in the countryside. That would be a little sarcastic, but I'm being straight-faced there.
We got ourselves.
It isn't a nice valley. I would love to
Trying to like
live
flirt, but not flirt.
Magoosh, you were in contact at the very least with the underworld to some extent.
Yeah.
Then you would definitely see Varissa leer over you with how to describe it. It's one of those looks where it's like, you pull the line here and I'll make it easy for you. Like, even this far into the war, she's still trying to pull petty politics.
Yeah.
Damn.
Migosh looks over, gives her like the link, and does like the symbol, the rubbing of the finger, wink, wink.
Like money.
Like
Gotcha.
fly?
Yeah, like money. Like, I got your back now. Make sure you get me later.
Now I wish that you all partake. Your Lord Yarmouth, his arms open, as if constantly attempting and ready to give you a hug. I invite you to come and dine at this fine meal while we can, and that we may prepare and pray for fortuitous days, for we do not have long, not long enough to pack up what remains and move it. I invited you here, as I mentioned, to help with our battle plans, but for now, you are here as my guests. We sit here as equals, in the face of our finest hour. Chidora gives like a little, oh yes, yes, yes. Cheerleading him
Very honored.
effectively.
Very honored to be here. Well, if I could do something overtly, I'd just give him something like a bless or guidance.
Perhaps
So he could be more
now,
inspiring.
while I know your name, surely you would like to make your own personal introductions. Introduce yourself how you wish.
Mm.
How do you wish to be known in these dire times?
Gosh, if I'm gonna be playing up the whole like modest kind of paladin thing, I would just say, just a nameless paladin.
Migosh Burgercut's
I
the
don't-
name. Finest archer in the lands. Slayer of goblins. Yeah. The complete
love it.
opposite.
Yeah. I am Mal. I am the scaler. I scale everything in my path. And destruction of evil, of course.
You said
Of
steel,
course.
or your accent was messing me up a bit. What were you saying? Steel?
The scaler.
The scaler. You climb everything. Is that it?
Yeah. I climb everything to
Oh.
fight it. Yeah.
No, I'm asking you out of character because I imagine.
Oh,
in
I meant like
character-
to scale like skin. I don't know, like
Ha!
skin.
God, I
Does that
think
make sense?
I
No,
getcha.
that would be like the flagellant if you're doing it to yourself, I think. And Skinner, so you're basically rending skin off of people.
That would
Yeah.
indeed be skinning or flaying.
The flare, there would
The
be
flare.
the flare.
I'm the flare.
I imagine
Oh
that
my
Matthias
gosh.
would probably say something like, "I'm just a humble warrior here to stand for goodness." Something.
Yeah.
I will do exactly the
flare.
same. I'll just say, I will introduce myself as Boyga, and I will simply say I am a paladin. No need to remember the name, just the actions and such. Not here to build a
He has
name
the
for
fastest
myself.
horse. He has the fastest horse in all the land.
Gosh, okay, fine. And my horse is named Sugar Cube.
Oh, okay. Probably not.
Considering your horse's intelligence,
Probably don't remember that. Probably don't remember that. But everything else, yes.
I will not beat around the proverbial bush. We know what we are dealing with. Thousands of soldiers, potentially hundreds of veteran sergeants, leaders, berserkers, who knows how many spellcasters, clerics, all the like that they have. Enough manticores to form small groups. And I've even seen, what did you call them again, my good Imistol. They are Hyro Oh, this is a really big one. Higher so Sphinxes. My goodness. Thank you, 3.5,
What the-
for having one hell of a mouthful of a name. If I identify them correctly, then that's what we're looking at. They even have wyverns. Let's see. Considering that Imberstalls here, I could tell you all about them. Let's see. These are they the bad kind? No, they're like the weakest kind of Sphinx people know about. They're still pretty scary. Like they can tear you to pieces. As for the wyvern, I imagine that most people know what wyverns are. If you don't,
You mean wyverns?
wyverns. Yes, I'll say wyvern. I don't know why.
No. Just to establish that we're thinking about the same thing. It's
Yeah.
basically a lizard
baby
with only
dragon.
with
It's a
just the legs.
Yeah.
They
it's-
actually
it-
qualify as dragons, yes?
Yeah, they're dragonkin. They're just instead of having the forelegs, their arms are their wings.
Yes.
Yes,
They're most-
that's what I'm saying.
They're most
Ah,
notorious for having an utterly terrifying poison that does 2d6 con damage if it gets off.
jeez.
The wyvern poison is nothing to sneeze at, which is why they're considered very terrifying things to have in an army. They are, however, extremely difficult to train, so the fact that they list off some very scary things. He also mentions that up until recently, the army had ghosts, but they seem to have left, according to his recent reports.
Yeah, right. We took care of that. The Ghost Lord has gone back to the. We do our thing. He does his thing. We don't go in the waste. He don't come here.
I see. When this is all said and done and we have the time and space to negotiate such things, I see that a great reward will await you.
See him, you guys like smile up at that, like, oh yeah.
Let's see.
He blushes.
goodness. Also seen among them are at least a few dragons, and something very big and scary, a big old lightning. Mistral is like, I think it's Behir, whatever they call it. It's a very weird name, I gotta be honest. Behir.
Be here.
It's one of these fuckers. A large blue scaly creatures, big as a house. Spits lightning. Delightful. The point is,
Well,
we
that doesn't
stand
sound
against
safe
quite
at
the
all.
army. And their leader is, as you can see by the letter, quite the charmer. I can't believe he would think me so lowly as to leave my town in the most desperate hour. And with that, he raises up a glass and drinks down a big gulp of wine.
Was he scared or the Lord? Why'd he leave?
No, he's like the Havrik Karn, the leader of the army, has sent him a letter going like, "Hey, fuck off, you loser. You ain't no shit, and I'll leave you be." And
He
he's like,
basically said, "We're all dead. Your help is not coming." Blah 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 blah.
and then this guy's
Ah.
like, he's so charming with how he's trying to tell me to fuck off. I won't. And then he takes a big drink. There.
He's like,
the-
"You're
Don't
so cute."
underestimate your enemies, but at the same time, if you have to assert that you're so strong, then you're not strong.
He does have dragons that are willing to take his orders, best we can tell. Not to mention, I know that you are new here, Mal, but I'm certain that our paladin here would have picked up on the disturbances in the air.
Now,
Back up.
what they mean is basically like the perception of evil and such.
You're sensitive to evil, yes. So clerics of the good alignment,
Mhm.
and paladins and the like, 'cause they're also basically good clerics, are extremely
Right.
sensitive to what is essentially a pinprick into the layers of hell, as it were, is somewhere miles to the west, and you can feel that tiny pinprick like a lighthouse shining in your direction.
Aha.
Occasionally, you feel that
Also,
wind flow through.
that's true.
Sons,
Additionally,
boy.
additionally, the thing that I would like that I will probably never really have an opportunity to do again is when they mention that, I would like to focus that evil detecting thing on everyone present, just to make sure.
There's a reason they made the spell work differently in 5e, and one of them is that it makes the GM go, I gotta look that all up now. It mostly just
I'm
tells you
sorry.
if things are evil, and I think everyone
Does.
here is probably on the good side. The only person that I have my doubts about is Lady Varasa. I don't know if
Yes,
she's actually
exactly.
qualifies as good or not.
Well, she's probably neutral if anything. But my point here is, if there is a traitor or a spy, maybe there's somebody like some of the servants here, or might be like a spy. Remember the spider spy lady that we
Yeah,
found?
yeah, that you would have you honestly that one wouldn't have gone around you at all. Who needs sense motive when you can just smell people and you're like, you're evil.
You're
What's funny is that her encounter specifically mentions she has no way of avoiding alignment detection, so it'll immediately catch her, which I like. It's like, listen, man, don't be a fucker. This is done. Open shut. Let's.
That's
Oh,
funny.
Lady Verasa actually pings as evil.
Well, she is leading. She is the head of a basically crime syndicate,
Yeah, she's a high level rogue apparently.
so it does make sense.
Her aura. Well, she's just a normal person, so it's faint. It's like nah.
Right. Well, the worst I'm gonna give him is waggle a finger at them, which is the same what I would do for Maul, because, well, Maul pings as evil, probably. Are you evil?
I'm gonna say towards evil, but she's neutral.
Neutral. Fair enough. Well,
I mean,
Chaotic neutral.
they're still associated with the planes of
Yeah,
evil, so
probably.
there's
He's demonkin technically.
yes, so there is that layer on her skin as it was, but not like deep within.
That's true. That is probably most of the reason, that and the failed sense motive role, that I trust you to actually, try to, what's called, atone for your sins. And, I wouldn't really consider the sin of existing, because you don't have a choice.
I would like to point out, by the way,
that.
that it takes 3 rounds for you to actually detect the location and presence of each aura, which means that you stand there for
Yes.
at least 20 seconds just squinting.
Are you okay? Do you have something?
Well, that's sort
Are you constipated?
No. I eat plenty of fiber.
Okay, it's just because you are staring into like that direction for 20 seconds. So.
I was trying to see if any one of them was evil.
Ah, okay. Are they
Man.
evil? Who's evil?
I like the way Varus is described here. Rumored to be one of the most cunning people
Go ahead.
rumored to be the most cunning person in Brindle. She's fond of wearing her bright hair in extravagant styles and always dresses in costly and elegant courtiers' dresses.
Elegant.
It's commonly held belief that if she wanted to cash in all favors and loans and the rest of Brindle owns her, she could
I'm
whisk
gonna leave.
rulership away from Lord Yarmouth in a matter of hours. Oof.
Yeah, but that's too
I'd
too much
support
work
her.
and too much responsibility. A clever leader would pull the strings from behind, the scenes, rather than putting yourself in the spotlight.
Exactly. Shadow government's where it's at.
And now, if Mr. Magoosh is deep enough in the
Yeah.
underworld, like how deep are you? Are you like tip of the iceberg, or are you like in there?
Let's see. It does have 6 levels of rogue, so I wouldn't say like high in there. Like
You know the names.
I know more. I know the names. Like I don't have like dealings with them personally, but I know who they are. Like
While
yeah.
while Lady Cowell definitely has the favors, if she tried to make too big of a move, too big of an opulent move, and there is one person in town, the Guildmaster of the Black Knives, who would have no scruples just leaving her face down in the mud with a
Yep.
knife in her back.
It's a delicate
They,
balance.
they prefer the way it is right now because it leaves things unsteady, and it's easier to work when everything's unsteady.
Yes.
Unsteady's
Wait,
good
why
for
am I happy
business.
about it?
I don't know. Why are you happy about it, Dolph?
I'm not. It was out of character. Let's assume that.
I'm like, wait, what?
I mean, the guy also has support. The Black Knives are technically supported by House Call, but it's again one of those situations where it's like, everyone tolerates everyone here is more how the town is run than anything.
Yeah.
Wait,
But
boy,
it is an opportunity for all, the evil people to also come here and, come together with the good ones and, forge some alliances.
who did
and
you
do some
sense
good.
that was evil?
The crime syndicate leader?
I mean, Lady Cowell's, she's not necessarily a crime syndicate leader, but she's
Yeah.
like
You guys don't have no clue about that.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to point out towards that lady, but Migoosh has basically pulled me aside, probably pulled the
I
sleeve.
slap you.
That's
I
that thing.
slap your hand as soon as you try to raise it.
Oh, excuse me. I forgot. It's a high society kind of show, so I'm not supposed. It's rude to point.
Yeah. A
Gotcha.
whisper in your ear, like,
No.
yeah, you gotta keep that one on the DL.
Don't
Right.
want the shadow government after you.
What are they gonna do? Kill us?
Considering that she's
Because,
lawful
like-
evil, Mr. Magoo, you're allowed to make up a nice, extravagant way by which they take care of people, if you want.
And you say it's not so much the killing you got to worry about. See, that's over quick. That's not a big deal. If you really piss them off, you're gonna wish you were dead. Trust me, it's not fun.
I bet Matthias.
I mean,
considering
at least
his
it's going to
wisdom-
be a cool way to die. But
Can we? Can we piss them off, but blame it on the goblin army? I kind of want the goblins
Right.
to wish they were dead.
I mean, it's a war. It's going to be big and messy. And if you really wanted to do some housekeeping, it's
you
always
wish
a good time
other
to do
people
it.
were. You wish other people were dead. Your more compass is very weird.
No, I don't want them dead. Well, first of all, I'm not a paladin of redemption, so there is that. And I do not specifically. Okay, so
So
how
you
I
don't
would
want them dead,
reason-
and you do want them dead.
how I would no, I said I want them to wish they were dead. What I'm saying here specifically is that I'm not out there to specifically track them down and kill all of them for killing like humans or something, or
No.
dwarves.
Or I guess
Killing them as a service to humanity at large, quote unquote. Yes.
while they are lawful, while they are evil, while they ping as that.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean you necessarily have to kill them as a paladin. Like, yes, removing evil from the world is a good thing to do, but you're not going to upset societal structures just because one person is being a naughty boy.
No, I'm not talking about the rogue. I'm talking about the goblins.
Yes. Well, yeah, getting rid of the goblins benefits everyone at this point.
Yes,
Oh,
that's my reasoning for wanting them gone.
I'm gonna point at her and be like, "So she's the evil one."
But no, you never. So he never actually pointed. It's like Migosh slapped the hand down as soon as like tried to.
I personally
Yeah, but
think
he
that-
was looking at that direction.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
I like that. I guess it makes sense that Migos would probably know, like, some people can smell or sense that kind of stuff. I'll pick
Yeah.
up on it.
Yeah, he's dealt with paladins before.
You know, the fucking
They're
lawman.
usually the stuffy fucking highfalutin paladins.
Ugh. You know, the ones who always insist on wearing proper ties and are like, you can't wear a clip-on to the Lord.
Yes, you can.
Listen, you
It's
gotta
not
do
the
a
tie
proper
that makes
Winston
the
tie
person.
or whatever. Not people use nowadays. I don't know.
And maybe I'm projecting a little bit too much of my autism on this, but I don't think like the personal appearance has to be anything but modest in this. Like it doesn't. Like why would I dress up? My deeds speak for themselves.
That's
In a
this,
sense.
that's this
I'm
conversation.
sure you're in your shiny full plate, right?
Delightful.
Let me check something real quick because it's not specifically a full plate, but it is. One moment. Breastplate of command. There we go.
So you got a
Unless I
shiny.
upgraded.
Yeah, you have a shiny plate.
Yes.
Nice.
I am keeping good care. I'm taking good care of it, but I'm not like polishing it to the point where you can blind someone with that.
That's what a shield of blinding is for.
Yes.
Yes. Which you might be able to buy now because we have a shit ton of gold.
Yes.
Just the horse is laden with money. As the little dinner goes on, some people. I mean, Lars knows you well enough, or at least knows Magoosh well enough that he kind of trusts it. He does give the rest of you a bit of a look over to make sure that you're not acting suspicious, making sure you don't got any knives hidden in places they shouldn't be. Lady Tredora, I mean, not a worshipper of Pelor, Boyga, but she told me you were Moradin. She is glad to see that a paladin of goodness has come by. That does, because otherwise she would have been very, very uninterested in you. Like, come on, man, where are my paladins at? Where's my Pelor people? So there's this sense of optimism. After all, Matthias also emits this. I mean, he might not be a paladin in name, but he does carry himself like that to much of an extent.
He's a demigod.
Matthias is definitely a good boy. Yes.
So to her, it's kind of like, man, this really does sound like those stories of old where things always work out in the end, despite the fact that several towns have already been burnt down. Let's ignore that part when we talk about this the whole thing. Sarana and Anita and Speaker Wisdom are very quiet. They're just happy to be there. They catch up a bit. They have some polite conversation. Like, oh, where you been? How you doing? What was the Ghost Lord's lair like? Like, apparently you said you were there. Like, what was that like? What
Stinky and full of goblin corpses. Yeah, that was well. They weren't corpses until I got there, but you know, the corpses now. I guess they're part of the Ghost Lord's army now.
Cerelia,
Kill the Ghost Lord.
Star Singer, by the
Oh
way.
no!
Okay, go on.
Just for the sake of reference, Ghost Lord wanted to revive them and send them after the rest of the army.
So yeah. See, so he's part of the Ghost Lord's army now.
Yes, but they're fighting on quote unquote, if not our side, at least not against us.
Yes.
So Cerelia Star Singer, by the way, you know, she lived in a backwater place, and Matthias the only one who has context for this, but she's like super quiet and awkward over in a corner, just like, I'm here.
Afraid of the big city. Yep.
She is,
Wait, hold
however,
on, how
glad
would
it's possible that you probably picked up on the owl being alive, and she's happy about that. That's nice. Take good care of him.
All right, right. Matthias, because it's in this. Right. Gotcha. Because he's the only one who's been in the Elven
There's
Tower.
smoke here. Is there like
Excuse
a
me?
pipe in the corner?
What?
Is there like a pipe in the corner for so I can casually like go up to Cerelia and then just like hang out with her?
Why do you need a pipe?
I don't know, it'd be kind of cool.
Because he wants to smoke some pipe weed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What?
Okay, I'm gonna just smoke with Cerelia.
She doesn't
Oh, yeah.
know who you are, but you look kind of funny, and you remind her of that one guy who showed up a while back. So hey, I
So
guess
Mel-
it's the
Yeah.
latest fashion.
Do you
Probably
want the
should ask
buff?
this. Is Mel a girl or a guy? I guess it's a girl. Now looking at the picture. Okay,
Yes.
Cool.
Do you want the buff?
She'll accept it. She needs a bit of something to get through this long day.
Right. A lot of talking. Less yapping. Let's more chopping. You know.
During all this, while you're having your pleasant little talk, and she tells you all about the Blackfins, a place where apparently all kinds of wretched monsters live. Sounds like an exciting place if you like danger. There's just piles of flesh in the water that yell at you, with mouths and many eyes.
I have to step away for a sec. Again, I'm getting a call, but this one is important. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Well, then
But
I'll have to-
Don't get killed, guys.
You kill
Well-
them.
And while this is going on, Lady Varissa, Lady Call, she obviously starts poking at Boyga and Matthias, like, what are your motivations? Why did Matthias come back at all? Like, come on, man, this is a war. You're gonna die. This is gonna go awful. The dragon's gonna eat you. Like, why did you come back? What is your motivation? What's your long con? Who do you work for? You know, but in a very more roundabout kind of way, like Mr. Magoo and Matthias are smart enough to pick up on what she's trying to pick at, you know. Probing questions, trying to figure out what exactly your big plan is.
Say, I'll be honest here. I'm in it for the treasure. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a giant cart of gold back there. I see. The longer I keep with them, the bigger my retirement fund grows. And also, I'm from this city. Don't know if you realize that. So, I sort of got to defend my home.
Lol. Well, she probably knows you, or at the very least at this point. I mean, yeah, you were level 7 before you left, so yes, she would know you. Like around level 7, your name is big enough that anyone in town that's like in a leadership
Me
position.
got Burgle Court,
my
finest archer in the land.
The thing is, like, the second you start talking out loud, there's the point where she tries to, like, go sush, because that's usually the kind of conversation she has with people like you, is where she has to tell you to shut up, because there's guards around, but then she remembers that she's inside the room where the head of the guard is, so it's like, oh, I guess that doesn't really matter, does it?
As soon as you raise your voice, I'm gonna be like, oh, titles. Mal the Flayer. Yes.
The elf
Call
you're-
me the Flayer.
The elf you're next to
Yes.
flinches from you suddenly loudly declaring your name.
You know, he was doing it too, and I felt like it was like a train thing.
Cerelia is like, oh, wait, that's a thing? I guess I should join in
Yeah.
then, huh?
Yeah.
And she loudly declares herself Cerelia Starsinger, representative of the Blackfen Elves. And at that point, the room gets
Wow.
kind of awkward.
Yes. Whoa! And then I clapped for her.
Migosh
Yes.
does the golf clap.
Yes.
Bravo.
Beautiful title.
Bravo.
Beautiful title.
That's a pretty big zoinks moment. Awesome. Well,
Hello.
you're back. Things got a bit silly just a moment ago.
What happened?
Well, First Lady Kao is asking you lots of probing questions because you've got that paladin goodness about you, and she wants to know what the fuck your deal is. Like, good people don't exist in her head. Everyone has some MO going into anything. 'Cause she's lawful evil. That's how her brain works.
Hmm.
And then
Makes
after
sense.
that, Magoosh decided to introduce himself again, and then Mal introduced herself, and then Cyrilia, confused by the fact that the person next to her is suddenly making loud noises, decided to also introduce herself again.
That is silly. Correct. What the hell were you smoking?
Good question.
Do you want
Pipe
some?
weed.
Do you want some?
I'll pass. I try to stay sober on the job.
Considering where you are, you could probably find tobacco growing around here. Yes.
We're not really on the job right now, but snooze your goose or whatever.
Well, we're talking about the war effort, so clearly it's a part of the job.
You think that's the job? I think fighting is part of the job.
That's fair enough.
Argus,
You go right ahead. You go right ahead. You'll have plenty of opportunity to atone for your vices.
since Matthias isn't here,
Yes.
Lars
Yes.
will lean in on you and
Yes.
starts chit-chatting like about battle plans and stuff. 'Cause
Right.
Lars is a bit nervous that the walls won't exactly hold the whole siege. So he's like, okay, so listen, you got a town, the walls fall. What would you do? Like, what are your competences, effectively? How would you handle that?
How much of the damage to the city are you willing to take?
Why do you ask a question like that? It's what he wants to know. Because that's a very loaded question.
It
You
is a
are a
very loaded
paladin.
question. It's like, what is the acceptable damage to the city? Because you can't get unscathed. But, if we assume that some of the buildings are going to get destroyed anyway, we might as well do it on our terms, trap them, essentially. Do the war of attrition kind of thing. If we tire the enemy out, if we annoy them enough, they might just get tired and leave.
What?
Because from what I've heard, these Chucklefox that have been harassing the supply lines and everything, and so the army is tired and grumpy, and there is a good chance they might just get fed up with all of this shit and just go home.
No, that's a fine point. Now, let me ask you a question. You want to trap him? Explain.
They're going to be coming here to slaughter people. If we pretend, if we have soldiers in a house that suddenly scream and lure them in, and then the door behind them locks and we just beat the shit out of them.
Oh, I like this.
Mhm.
You feel a slap on your back, and Migosh walks up and says,
Yes.
"Oi! You're not the usual type of paladin that I deal with. I fully expected to hear you say, well, I'm gonna go out there and challenge them, but I overheard you talking about blowing something up, huh?"
Blow something
I
up. What
might
are you
be-
talking about?
I might be a paladin of good. I am not a paladin of stupid.
Most
want to blow
paladins I've
something
dealt
up.
with before are pretty stupid.
I'll
I
join
mean,
in on the
honestly.
conversation.
Argus, you're perfectly allowed
Yes.
to say that you also met some stupid paladins on the road. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Artorias.
That is exactly what I was insinuating. I am not a paladin of stupid. I am well aware of the reputation of those who think they can solve everything with, happiness and sunshine. It's like I am more than willing to extend my hand to offer friendship, but at the same time, I am a paladin of Moradin,
Would you?
and I am more than willing to slap a bitch. I understand the value of that.
May I pose this in a very specific kind of fashion? Are you saying that
Yes.
you're willing to compromise your own morality, potentially losing
No.
your paladin powers, for the sake of achieving the greater good?
Oh,
No,
Oh shit.
no, because
We
I'm
got
not that
you on
sort of
that
guy.
one.
No, I'm just asking, like, hypothetically, would you break the Batman rule, as it were, if it meant doing something? Okay, cool, gotcha.
No.
I'm not
Specifically
saying this
because-
because I'm gonna take away your paladin powers. I'm asking this as like from
No. That's explicitly what I'm going for specifically here. I'm not going to pursue the fleeing enemy. I'm not going to be bloodthirsty and vicious. I will accept their challenge. I will fight them. I will fight them in a smart way, or at least try to. But I'm not going to literally. Oh, I'm going to tie up a couple children for the goblins to eat as a means of luring them into a trap, right?
No, I got some bad news for you though. We got
Yes.
we got spies. You know, there used to be a theater. The theater house over here, and we got those people in some costumes, and they're like running all over the Red Hand's little backyard. We got bad news all the way from the back. There's potential that they might be trying to summon some devils and demons and stuff. Even when the siege is over, can we count on you to take care of that too?
I will do my best.
Well, would you look at that? There are some good people in the world who aren't dumb as a brick. He gives you a firm slap on the back from dwarf to dwarf.
I'll return the gesture. Why not?
Safi, are these two buildings walled over here? that I'm,
Let me look up what they actually are before I give you any particular information.
It does look like they are.
Let's see. Building number 13 and 19. Building number 13 is Cal Manor, which I imagine is thus walled. It's like an Here we go. With its own stables, garden, and archery range, Cal Manor might well be the greatest and most tasteful display of wealth in the city.
All right.
Damn.
Oh man, shooting gift.
It's gonna be that's
If
gonna be
you're-
Migosh's fallback point.
Next
if-
up,
if
the
you're-
other one is Haskanar Mansion. The Haskanars are the least pretentious noble family. While they can't trace their lineage all the way back to Brindle's foundation as the Calls and the Teskerwills can, they come close. Why do
If
they
you're
own
going
so
to
much
sneak
land?
away to rob some people, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Oh no, that's the fallback point. As in, like, shit, the wall fell. I'm running to make my stand in the most opulent place there is.
Right. Well, just overall, if
If you're
anyone
going to die, you're
actually
going to
does-
die in comfort.
Yes, exactly. I'm
Exactly.
gonna die on the most opulent sofa I will ever lay my eyes on in this entire life. Now, like I said, what I wanted to do is not necessarily trap the houses, but like prepare the fallback points, like the one that Magoosh
Yeah, I
has
get what you're going
mentioned.
for. What you're going for.
Yeah. Barricades and all that stuff.
Nice.
I would imagine I have either
Argus, battle
thought
plans will
about,
come
yes.
when they're starting to discuss battle plans.
Heard. All
aka
right, yeah,
when
Matthias is not here. Fair enough.
You're not discussing battle plans. You're just making small talk and buddying up. Mr. Magoosh. Lady Call for a while sits off in the corner, and once she has enough to eat and drink, she decides to come on over to you. And she, you know how when powerful underworld people, like they sort of, they turn down the lights with their presence, they turn up
Oh,
the
yeah.
heat. When this is all said and done, you will need a place to live. No, you will need a home to sit in safely without having to worry about every single person coming for your back, no? With all this name and fame going around, I personally, I would very much prefer if I could have someone who could help push for a... I do not want to be here. Yarmouth insists that me and my guards stay around. I would love it if you would help push back against that. I would love to leave the city before the fire gets too hot for my feet. If you catch my drift.
Well, you know what I always say: a favor done is a favor earned.
So I'm just saying, if you want to stay in Brindle and be a very, very rich and comfortable man within the city walls, you would be wise to do me a favor.
Oh, that's basically what Migosh just implied. Yeah,
It's just like-
he's gonna do her a favor and get that favor later on from her.
Yeah. Ma, you are approached by Lady Todora for obvious reasons. She's an Azamar, you're a tiefling, make out already. Enough about that.
Too divine.
Wizard,
pleasure.
cleric.
Pleasure to meet you.
She's a lawful good Azamar cleric. She's a chaotic evil wizard tiefling. When will they smooch?
Gosh.
Right?
Lady Todora is... gosh, what does her description say about her? Because this got to be something good in there. Local high priestess of Pelor. Well, yeah. Most recognizable face. Her eternal beauty has left many worshippers in the throes of helpless infatuation. Oh, that's a great way to describe it. Thank you.
Damn.
Her
Okay.
relationship
Everybody
with
just
Lord
wants to
Yarmouth
smooch
is
her.
an open secret in Brindle. No one speaks openly of it, but the two knows their lovers.
Oh,
Oh, she already has
my.
a lover.
Oh, I love the way this is described. Though she's normally kind-hearted and soft-spoken, the stories she's heard of the Horde's action have awakened a dormant rage in her heart, and she has become quite fierce in the matters. Ah! Oh my god, I love this. She expects a lot from the PCs as a general rule, but has a poor impression of adventurers as greed-driven mercenaries or thugs. I love that Magoosh and Matthias are like both parts of that equation. Oh. She walks over to you, and she would like to know exactly why Mr. Immistal puts so much faith in a random person who comes out of nowhere.
Me or
Mal.
Matthias?
Like, Mal, you're standing opposite this very, like, preserved in glass kind of beauty with a breastplate.
Well, we need all the help we can get, and random strangers who have the abilities to get the power and use it on dangerous foes.
I would much
more
rather this
important.
town have more fine paladins than have to deal with potential risks. Surely, if they are summoning demons, they will summon creatures as yourself to join their side.
Right. But don't they have like clerics on their side too? They're using your own magic against you as well. So
You dare compare the holy magics of Pelor to their little Tiamat flutters?
well, you're comparing my race to demons. So yeah, I am.
You are not born of human flesh, with what you bear in your blood. That comes from the layers of the abyss no one dare speak of.
You're an asshole. You know that.
At the very least, I need not fear that I will die beside you, for your kind will not enter my church without a nice crackling flame of purity. She,
Now,
Like,
now,
intense
you're-
stare
you-
off, basically.
now,
yeah,
look.
basically.
I don't want to pick sides in this argument, but I would like to step in and say that, well, she has assured me that she is actually looking to do some good for the
Also,
world.
there's Immistal. I really should have kept him like the little red kobold man. I had him in the other one because he was a cute little man. But here he is. It's Immistal. He also slides in together with, and you. I imagine that you two basically say the same thing, because
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, look,
no, I mean
it's
like
not a good
I mean like the Jinx kind, where you talk over each other in the perfect sentence.
Can you imagine we just start talking and we say the same thing in unison without training? We finish our sentences. It's like, look, she has promised to do some good. It's not a good idea to push away the allies, you know, be their demon or whatever.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's unwise for us to push away those who are most willing to help, especially one with such great skills as her own. She assured me, and she has demonstrated to what I can. I imagine that the detect magic can pick up. Nah, not on wizards though. Sorcerers maybe. They're like pretty much living magic items. But you know, you did respond, and you're here alive, and there's a paladin willing to speak up for you. It's like, yeah, sure. I think that she's proven more than enough that she's probably capable of casting some nasty spells. You know. Pew, pew.
You know,
Thank you.
with some,
Right.
with some direction, they can do a lot of good.
I think that it is people like Lady Carl who would rather push us all asunder and leave us separate than those. Does Pelor not teach us that it is the sun who sticks together as one that is the strongest than the sun that is scattered like the stars in the sky?
Thank you. At least some people have my back, but yes. Is she standing right in front of us, or did she leave?
She tolerates your presence for a moment more, but seeing that Imistral covers you, you're not sure if she leaves in a huff or if she's just leaving because she doesn't want to be part of this little slagging her fest, but she leaves.
Can I stick my tongue out and do like a L sign as she leaves?
Oh my god, you better make good on your skills there, or you're gonna look like a fool when this is over.
Oh yeah.
Ibistal does kind of want to know, like, what magic do you possess? You told me you were an evoker, but you didn't specify too much about the spells themselves, as it were.
Like a lot of fire, like lot of fire energy. I can conjure multiple minions. Oh, and I can teleport too.
Ah, yes, good
Pretty
old
cool.
dimension door, right?
Oh no. That teleport shit. The actual teleport.
There's
no.
he's what? You can actually. Whoa! Wow.
Yeah.
That is. There is something. When we are done here, you must visit me. My memory is a bit shoddy, so when you do come to me, mention that little thing I received from the Wormsmoke Mountains. I think I have a way to make your trip there a little easier once we're done. I won't sleep soundly until we've taken care of this man with his mad plans, someone who's taking over the Vale, who can unite goblin tribes. Have you seen goblin tribes before?
A couple, not really, but
Hobgoblins,
yeah,
yes, yes. Hobgoblins may pretend to be the organized sorts, but their tribes barely cling together as well as a properly trained army will. The fact that they're united under one terrifies me to the core. So whoever leads their charge, who has such authority, can surely mount a new army, and those hobgoblins easily make many more of themselves. Now,
we can beat them.
I would. I think you will find that my magic will come in just as useful as yours, though I must, of course, focus on the spells necessary to keep Lord Yarmouth and everything coordinated. You'll see when we get to talk about the fun details, but, mind if I do say that you are quite the lovely lady, and you are quite an interesting dwarf.
Dwarf.
Yes.
Oh, a dwarf. Yes.
Boyga, was it?
Yes. Yes.
I'm a dwarf. Yes.
He holds out a hand for you to shake.
I will shake it.
This guy has 10 strength, so I guess if he had 8 strength, I might have said that it like you squeeze his hand, and I was like,
No. I'm not the kind of.
Squeeze it. Squeeze it.
I am a lawful good paladin. I'm not in the business of asserting myself over binoclards. So, nerds get a pass. I'll shake the hand. It's gonna be firm. I'm not gonna be crushing their hand. Holy shit.
Crush it. Crush it.
No.
No, I mean like you squeeze it a bit because you're stronger like that.
Oh, in a sense, yeah. Well, yeah, fair enough. But I'm not gonna intentionally do it.
Yes. Oh, actually, he apparently also knows teleport. It's just that it's in his spellbook, not in his prepared list. Nice. Let's see. What kind of spellcaster is he anyway? What's his schools? Dude. Oh man, I love that he's cranky but competent. Resents being dragged from his workshop, but obviously gonna impress the only person who answered his call. Wizard spells. It doesn't mention what kind of wizard he is. I hate that. What if I want to give him more spells? Get book, huh? I'm gonna put up my little. Oh my goodness. Oh my fucking god, this is great. I love how this is written. Special quality, he has a familiar because he's a wizard. None at present. His Gyno Sphinx is the jealous type. Killing me here. That's his wife. His wife doesn't let him have a familiar.
Wait, he said for me to meet him before the army or like after the war?
After the siege is done, he wants you to come and see him because he has something that he thinks can help accelerate the process a bit and avoid a potential disaster from happening.
Ooh, okay.
Like, goblins are organized. They clearly have some sort of divine precedence. They have dragons on their side. Whatever's going on, it makes him nervous, and he wants this weed pulled up by the roots.
Jeez.
And he wants it taken care of before that weed can start taking root elsewhere. Like, evil gods, they can skip parties. They can go from one to another. If Todora wasn't being such a bitch, she might have been able to chip on that. But he's like, listen, you can kill one of their priests, but if that force still exists, they'll find someone else to be their prophet. And it makes him very scared.
Yeah, guys, if you want to tag along, I'm gonna go to his house after I tell Boyga and...
Well, my house will probably still be fine. It is the only completely stone house in this place that isn't this fortress or the cathedral or anything.
I didn't realize that was the type you were into. Well, have fun.
Fuck off.
After a lovely conversation, and after Lord Yarmouth has spent some time...
wife.
After Lord Yarmouth has to spend some time getting his totally not lover to calm down a little bit, he beckons everyone to come with him to the war room, which is where we close off the session for today, as he guides you towards a back chamber where many maps have been gathered, transcriptions of conversations, plans, drawn-out battle plans, those little flags you put on maps to show where armies and everything are going to be, maps, ledgers, everything. Like a whole stockpile of things is there. Which happens next time when you guys get to have the fun talk of getting these people to not make the worst mistakes in their lives, because otherwise you wouldn't be here.
Right.
Let's see. I think you deserve some experience points for that because you've made some friends and you've also told other people to get bent.
Yes.
As you do.
Get bent, bitch. Get bent.
If you can't say nice things, don't say anything at all, they say. Anyway, let's take a look.
That's not in Mal's handbook.
Rewards. I would like to hand out some rewards. Thank you, experience book. Man, wouldn't it be great? How much experience do you need to get to the next level? Only 3,000. So if you can somehow scrounge together 12,000 experience points, you might be able to make it. Let's see. Time to pull out the old calculator. You're all level 10. Gotcha.
It still
level 9.
feels so weird looking at my character sheet and seeing that I only technically carry 20 pounds.
I still am like, is that really how dwarves work?
Dwarves are fucking
Probably.
awesome. Wait, so wait, why are you only carrying 20 pounds? Can't be right.
Because the only equip button that I'm seeing is equip weightless, so technically the armor that I'm wearing is kind of carrying itself, in a sense.
What?
Whoa.
It's weird. I'm not entirely sure how to set it up properly, but this has worked so far. I'm not going to be lugging around a lot of loot, so
Even
that's
then,
fine.
everything he has 100. He can carry 100 pounds.
Again, it's irrelevant because yeah, you're a dwarf and you can be heavy load and still walk 20 feet.
Yes.
Nothing slows
Plus, I
him
have a horse.
down.
Plus, I have a horse that does like 120 feet per round.
So how much does your horse move? 90 feet. Do you see the guy like? I mean, I guess someone in full plate running moves as much as your horse in one move action.
Mm-hmm.
That's like how your horse is fast as fuck. Vroom, he's got the Numies, baby.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm gonna.
I was surprised myself. I was Safi and I were putting the character sheets together, and as the levels went up on the horse, Safi just got progressively
is
more and more
big.
excited because it's like, oh no, it's 50 feet per hour, it's 6, it's 80, it's 90.
Mm-hmm.
It's great
Why is it called Sugar Cube?
because it's a cute name.
I'm
That's the name.
Oh.
well,
because
I'll
they're a
thought
nice
it
girl.
like sugar cubes, you know? Who doesn't like sugar?
Yes.
Yarmouth. Where are you? Where's your stat sheet? How do I know how many experience points you're worth if the players decide to backstab you, Mr. Yarmouth? I guess he doesn't have a stat block. I guess he's invincible. That's the rules. That's the rules. If you don't have a stat block, you're immortal.
Technically, yes. Oh, speaking of immortality, I still keep thinking back to that silly little story where the Lich has made a comet that passes by the place once every like decade or something, a phylactery.
Oh, I know where you're going for.
So whenever the comet was passing over the planet, they would like descend from orbit essentially and start just wrecking shit, and they would get killed, and then they would get revived, and nobody would find their phylactery. It's like it's just a lich that shows up when the comet comes by.
It's pretty cool. I'm use that for a homebrew idea.
Somebody said it's like it's a dude descending from orbit on a flaming skateboard, doing
Oh,
sick
wait.
kickflips.
That's where I can find him. He'll probably be over in the Brindle section.
I mean, technically, there is a guy in Pathfinder, I believe, who just straight up said, "I'm fed up with bullshit politics. I'm gonna go live in the sun."
Yes,
And he lives in a tower in the sun.
there's a dude who lives in the sun. And then later, fucking later in Starfinder, there's just a whole space station in the sun. Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
Ah,
what the hell that
Seffi,
was.
remember the Kolgor campaign? My character jumped into a dying sun and ate its core.
Sounds gross.
What the?
The idea was that throughout the entire campaign, my deity was quote-unquote grooming my character to become their avatar. So I literally had to build up enough fire resistance to become immune over the course of the story, and then I would dive into the sun and literally burn to death and be reborn.
Dun dun dun.
Jesus.
Dun dun
So
dun.
that was fun.
Oh, cool. Let's see. I'm gonna divide that by 4. And
My favorite part that I wanted to try out was walking up to someone and just punching them with a fireball because I would be immune to fire. But I never got around to actually doing it because at every possible moment where I could have done that, there were allies within the vicinity or I was casting other more useful spells.
here, your
With
experience.
invocation, it's the same as 5e. Can you protect certain people from blasts?
No.
I
Don't
think so.
I think there's a thing called Sculpt Spell that does that, but nothing easy out of the box. Although I think maybe in Pathfinder
If
they
you're
did
in
that.
the way, you are in the way.
Let's see. Let's humor the thought. Does Pathfinder go that way already? Are we there yet, Pathfinder? I'm gonna get on this bus, and I want you to tell me, am I there yet? Evocation.
4,750. Jesus.
No, they just get intense spells. Half their wizard level to damage. Ouch.
What we got per person?
Yes, per
4,700
person.
Oh, nice. Level up.
Nice.
Level up. I'm level
Oh.
10.
Yes. Luckily, you're one level behind. Otherwise, you'd be 11, and you have 6 level spells, and I'd be very scared. Because
5, 6.
chain lightning's in there. Ow. And acid fog. In case you know, you want to acid fog someone.
You know, acid fog.
It's just that
One.
simple. Hermes comes from beyond the grave. Argus gets 3rd level paladin spells, and he gets his 3rd attack. Because he has full BAB.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Which means that he can now cast Prayer.
Which is an amazing spell. I finally got to use it as Argus, and I died in the first fight doing it.
And now you can do it all over.
Hopefully, I will not die.
Our local residence samurai gets 2 swords as 1. He gets improved 200 weapons when using katana and wakizashi. So he's going to be even more samurai when he gets around to it. Yeah, that guy's going to be a flurry on blades. Next time, our great heroes must negotiate and set up a fine battle plan. Fail. and
Lads, I am at exactly 100 out of 100. Nice round numbers.
Incredible.
Yes.
We stand on the precipice of society. We live in a society. Anything else I need to know? Or is it, I think level 11 is one of those dead levels in terms of things. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. Next level is going to be a fun one, though, because you get a feat and ability score increase. Ooh.
Taffy, does my horse also level up?
Yes. Sort of. No. Yes. No, wait. Yeah. I forgot. At level 11, everything about your horse gets better.
Yes.
Let's see. Anything about the wizards? Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Your familiar now has spell resistance. Equal to your level
Ooh.
plus 5, which means that anytime someone wants to affect them with a spell, they have to roll a d20 plus their caster level versus that number, which in your case is like... No, wait, you're level 10, so that doesn't apply it. I keep forgetting. You're level behind. You're a weenie. I'm gonna laugh at you. I point and I laugh. Ha ha! Anyway, Paladin Mount.
Gosh.
Let's see. You're now... Okay, yes. Your mount gains 2 extra hit dice. Its natural armor goes up. I think it already automatically does that when I tweak this dial. There we go. Your horse now has 23 armor class. He gets a little extra hit points. There we go. He also gets to command creatures of its kind.
Yes.
Damn. I can summon 4 monsters now. Yay.
4 monsters.
What type of monsters, though?
What spell are you using? Summon monster 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Let me take a look at that one.
the way that those spells work is that if you cast it for the level, then you get 1. If you cast it for the lower level, so you use Summon Monster 5 to use the 4th level list, you get 1d3, I think.
Ooh.
If you use Summon Monster 5 to use for the level 3 list, you get 1d4 plus 1.
Here
Summoning
goes
is...
Damn. I can create like 20 of... Damn, okay.
If you have the
If
time,
you
yes,
do
you could
it-
get a lot of creatures around, yes.
Now, just for the sake of reference, please don't do it to DMs. Summoning 32 chickens is pretty much signing your own death warrant. Anyway, here's the kind of creatures you can summon it for.
Every creature in the room realizes that you're a summoner and immediately gets angry at you.
I am mainly chaotic evil, so I can do...
You are chaotic evil? That's fucking amazing.
For some reason, you get this weird feeling that you should kill her immediately.
Yeah. That's the fun part of the alignment chart. Look, if you actually do some good, I'll let you go. But yeah, after this is done, it's like, bonk at the back of the head. It's like, yeah, you're going into rehab.
So you're just going to kill me Because
I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to send you into rehab. Which
So
means
that's
there's going to be
basically killing.
but no, Boyga's going to sit right next to you and is going to say, you know, this is the amount of evil that you have into. It's a ridiculously a lot for a person of your size. We need to work on that.
How how far does that sense evil go?
60 feet
Cone.
in a cone.
So if
I've already tried that on
I
you when we've met.
so if I were to, I don't know, like teleport out of here, you can never find me again. Is that what I'm
No,
getting?
it's no. The thing is, I would still know who you are. Like I could track you like any other person. What I'm saying is,
Right, right.
you said you're gonna be playing along, being a nice person. So I'm letting you do that. That's why you're here. It's like, hey, here's a war. Here's a chaotic, evil fucking tiefling that throws fireballs. It's like maybe I should just slaughter you in the spot and save myself some trouble.
Also, I don't allow chaotic evil people because no one ever actually plays chaotic evil, and if they do, they're not supposed to be in the game.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? True. But like a good way to play a chaotic evil character is like the stealth chaotic evil. Like you act good around the party, but then like behind the
Yeah.
party you do like so in a campaign I actually did this. So like I had a guy that like constantly hated doing shit for free, hated doing shit for like being the goody two shoes. So like he would go back like the party rescued a town and he'd sneak off at night and kill everyone in the town.
Anyway, next time.
They-
Okay, she's probably not that. I think she's pretty
That's
blunt.
chaotic evil. That's chaotic evil.
It is.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and do chaotic neutrals. She's
How
not
did you-
that like.
Well, chaotic neutral is the insanity alignment, where you're just
Yeah,
like, I don't have any opinions or morals or anything.
This seems exciting today.
A good way to describe chaotic neutral is like psychopaths, sociopaths, that kind of stuff. You know, you don't really
Oh,
think that
God,
other people
okay.
mean anything.
I'm
Actually,
a
no, that'd
diet
be evil.
like back. I'm a dial back chaotic good. Jesus.
Yeah, chaotic
Okay.
good is you just
If you're chaotic
chaotic
neutral, when you
stuff.
die, you get sent to a plane that is eternal turmoil, because change is
God.
eternal.
Yes.
Yeah, chaotic good.
It's better than
DG.
lawful neutral. That place is just a bureaucracy.
DG, try playing a lawful evil character. Much more fun, much more structured.
Next time, you guys are going to be fighting waves of bad guys, dragons, and assassins, sneakiness, and maybe even the big man himself. Will you resolve this successfully? Will you come out alive? Will you save this town? Who knows?
Has anyone
Knows.
ever noticed that there are two S's in assassin?
There are double ass.
That's so weird. Yeah.
They have double asses. I don't know.
Oh yeah, so after selling all these stuff, we are converted to platinum because it's easier just to deal with. But we are at 11,600 platinum, 1,783 gold, which correlates to essentially 100,000,
Just
111,000.
buy a
plus,
bag
yeah.
of holding, please.
Yeah,
We already have
Honestly.
the
we
heavy
have two.
haversack.
We have two handy haversacks. Yeah.
I'd like that you. The point where you start to put your money in bags of holding is the point where the economy fears you.
Yes.
Safi, remember Kolgora? And the blunder, the absolute blunder that the DMs did? We found an egg made out of gold floating in space. And as we approached it, a massive worm monster came out of it. And we killed it. And then I said, hey, that golden shell is going to be worth a lot. And the DM kept saying, no, that's too much, that's too much. It's thinner, it's thinner, it's thinner, it's thinner. And we still ended up with 130 million gold
The
pieces.
human mind cannot comprehend how that works now.
Yeah. Some good players right there.
On the
I mean,
bright
I had a
side,
similar
I've-
problem when I had a mild magic effect create a solid slab of steel, and they were like, actually, that's like thousands of tons of steel, and it's worth a lot.
I was
Yeah.
there. I was there. Remember, there was some kind of magical, like Fallout kind of thing, and
Pull
then
up
there's
a-
like,
Pull up
We
a
built an
fucking
entire
picture,
town
and
around it.
Argus points at himself like, I was there.
I was there. Yes. Hold on. There's that silly fucking SpongeBob thing.
Yes, I was there. Man, you really hound Archons, or Archons in general. Like the Lantern Archon, I think can do, what can they do again? They can shoot little beams of light. That's awesome. Little light beams that bypass all resistances. But they also have an aura of menace, and they can cast aid for you. And then Hound Archons are just good boys. that wield big swords. Jesus Christ,
Oh.
2d6 plus 3, 19 to 12. Oof, that's a pretty mean swing. And they can also cast Aid and Message. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Like, once you can start summoning Celestials, those spells get silly.
Gosh.
Jeez.
Well, the thing that I would like to invest into the most is probably either the armor and both of my weapons. Everything else, I'm pretty sure I'm set for, except for maybe I don't know. I could probably go for a what was it again?
So-
a better charisma cloak.
If you want to, you can summon this thing. It's called an Achai Urai, and it can fart toxic black clouds 3 times a day.
But only 3 times a day. Wow.
The cloud does 2d6 damage. You can make a fort save, and if you fail, you are
And you can
affected by
summon-
insanity.
And I can summon 3 of those.
Yeah. What I really like about that fart cloud is that it makes you permanently confused. That's one hell of a fart cloud.
Hmm.
Well, it's summon monster 5, so you can summon one of them until you get 6 level slots. They can summon 1d3. Which is literally, you roll a 1d6, you half it, and that's how many you get. Round it up for sake of convenience. Let's see. I mean, a Celestial Griffin just sounds cool. Or a big brown bear. Bearded Devil. They got anything cool up their sleeve in terms of spells? You may want to Greater Teleport, well, they all get that. They all get that. Inferno Wound. Oof. Hey, maybe you'll summon Hermes. Although I
Hermes.
personally imagine that he would be like an ice demon devil of anything. Those cool
How did
bug
Hermes
guys.
die again?
Hermes was living on a borrowed time. Once they quote unquote died a second time, their soul was reclaimed by whoever was their master or ancestor, I suppose. Point is, their body was left behind, and the body is doing fine, I think. We've left it in the care of the elves.
How did he
Soul
die the
is gone
second
now.
time again?
We got in a fight with a bunch of goblins in Rest, and he ate shit because he rushed downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Were you talking about my character Olaf?
No, we're talking about Hermes.
No.
Oh, Aramis, yeah.
Your death toll is getting a bit silly with 2 people per fight.
Yes, but it happens. Anyway, guys, great session. Love
See
the
you
new
later.
characters. I got to go.
Yeah.
I
But
got
yeah.
to go too.
Goodbye.
I like to mention he would come back as an ice devil. He can make walls of ice, ice storms.
Wait, hold on. Hermes would?
Yeah, because he just looks cool.
Hmm.
Additionally,
Well,
he's
I
not.
just hope that
He was a kind of
I
a
hope-
high-level character, so yes, he probably earned his stripes already.
probably did. I'm hoping that Argus will not show up as a Revenant. It would be out of character, I think.
I personally like the mental image of, you know, a guy and he went to hell and then he comes and you're like, I summon, and he summons some demons or devils and like one of them is like the guy that you used to know and it's like, hi guys, I have to fight you now.
Oh, what's up, guys? How are you holding up?
Hey, guys.
And,
Been a
and he's
while.
like,
I know.
you need to fight them. And it's like, yes, I'm fighting them in conversation. Give me a moment, please.
Yeah, that would be nice. It's like, holy shit, what a, like... Damn. Wait, hold on. Would we be able to summon them with just an actual summon spell?
If you have their true name, which you don't,
Oh.
then you could
Well-
specifically summon them. But
Yeah, that makes sense. I keep forgetting
Okay, I'm
about the
gonna
true name
Go,
thing.
guys.
bye, boo.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Como.
Well, yes.
What are we gonna do with our Saturday mornings? They're so empty now.
With Saturday mornings, well, like I said, I would love to do a one-on-one testing run of the campaign. How would you like to? I don't know. You did say that you're not very good at as a player, but hey, you know, how about we do it in secret? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, in a comfortable atmosphere.
That just
of,
feels
I'm not gonna tell
goofy
anyone.
to be the only person play testing a campaign like that.
I played with. Well, look. The thing is, I appreciate your like second opinion as a DM who knows the intricacies of that as a GM. I would like to hear your advice on how to run it better. I would also like you to experience this in a, you know, in a controlled environment as a player as well, because you keep complaining that it's like, oh, you know, I'm a bad player. It's like, cool. How about you?
I
you know,
feel.
practice
Listen,
a little bit?
I'd feel fucking awkward playing by my lonesome. Let's put it like that.
Okay. Would you like to play with Baba so you both talk shit to me about how shitty
I don't know if
am?
Baba wants to be in the same room as me nowadays.
Why?
We didn't exactly leave on the best of terms, did we?
Well, not really, but that's fair enough. I mean,
It began.
it's fine, I'm sure. Well, okay, fair enough. I'll try to find somebody else. Anyway, this recording is over. Hello, Matthias, if you're going to be watching this and catching